Good morning, Aldersley. Welcome to the Assembly today. It's been delivered by Mrs Vernon on Monday the 4th of May. Just want to have a look at the challenges that were set for you on Friday by Mrs Treble. So they were all linked to the topic of asthma, which we're doing a series of sort of lessons, aren't we, on health conditions. Let us know how you get on, so don't forget that hashtag and then we can see how you got on with that. Anybody know what any of those famous people have in common? We've got a variety of different people, sportsmen, we've got pop stars, actresses, politicians. Anybody have any ideas of what they've got in common? A quick hint, it's all to do with a medical condition that they all have. No, I'll tell you, put you out of your misery. All these people have diabetes, and that is the topic of my assembly today. So, thinking about diabetes, it's a condition that at the moment the estimates are that about 4 million people in the UK that are living with diabetes. It's a disease that affects how the body uses glucose, and that is a sugar that is the body's main source of fuel. What normally happens is you eat, glucose from the food enters your bloodstream, your pancreas makes a hormone called insulin. The insulin helps the glucose get into the body's cells, and then your body gets the energy it needs. And in diabetes, that process doesn't work effectively, and so you have high blood sugar levels. I've put a link there to a video if you would like to watch more. There's a quick video that explains what is happening in the human body, and it's sort of done for teenagers, so it's quite easy to understand. Within the body, there is a gland called the pancreas, which lies just underneath the liver, and that is responsible for making insulin, which, as we said before, is what helps to break down the glucose. In diabetes, this insulin either doesn't work effectively or doesn't get made. Doctors are unsure about the process behind this and why some people, when they're born, haven't got that ability to make insulin, but that leads to the two conditions. And what happens is your blood sugar level gets too high, and then you have different symptoms and you become ill if it is not treated. There are two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2, and they each cause high blood sugar in different ways. So if you have type 1 diabetes, that is the one that you're normally born with. So somebody will have that condition from birth, and that's when the pancreas can't make insulin at all. Could be because your immune system has attacked the pancreas and destroyed the cells, and it means that you can't get glucose from food, so you would have high blood sugar and health problems. Once you have type 1 diabetes, it can't be cured, so you will live with that condition. And if you have type 1 diabetes, you will have to take insulin regularly, either through injections or you may have an insulin pump fitted. The other type of diabetes is called type 2 diabetes, and this is when the pancreas still makes some insulin, but the insulin doesn't work as effectively in the body like it should, and the blood sugar levels become too high. To have type 2 diabetes before adulthood is very rare. You may find that people that are very, very obese have an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, but it's more common that it comes on sort of late to middle age. If you've got a close member of your family with type 2 diabetes, that also will increase the risk slightly. So this is the one that often comes on through lifestyle choices, which we'll talk about a little bit in a minute. So type 1 diabetes, remember I said that's the one that you're born with. That's the one where you have to have regular injections or a regular or an insulin pump fitted. So there is some kind of lifelong adaptations that have to be made. And if you're a teenager with type 1 diabetes, often they feel different from their friends. They may feel that they have to take more care over what they eat, and it may be this, they feel that they're a little bit different and that people, may not be aware of that condition. Some people get angry, some people get upset, some people, find it difficult to control. And so you have to come to terms with having that condition and how you're going to, manage it so that you can do all the things that you need to do. It does bring about challenges, but anybody who has that can still do every activity that everybody else can do. It's just about knowing what the disease is and how you can actually cope and manage it. Type 2 diabetes is the one that often comes with lifestyle changes, and it develops often sort of middle age, when people perhaps aren't taking as much care of their health as they should be. So ways that you could avoid it would be eating a healthy diet, losing weight and staying at a healthy weight, and those will help to reduce the chances of you developing type 2 diabetes. If we think about eating a healthy diet, and I'm sure you've done this in your food lessons or in science, it's about having that balance. It's about eating 5 portions of more of fruit and vegetables, trying to sort of avoid fried foods, sugary foods, trying to avoid lots of unhealthy snacks, and try and have natural snacks like fruit or vegetables, those sorts of things. Try and stick away from processed foods, and I'm sure at the moment, as things are not as open as frequently, takeaways, I wonder if it'll have an impact on what people's diets are like, and whether people or not will lose weight because they're having to cook more foods from sort of the raw materials. This is called the Eat Well Guide. It used to be called the Eat Well Plate, and it tells you how to sort of plan your meals. And if you look at it, you can see that the green and the yellow parts of the plate are the largest, and that means that you should be taking most of your food from that section. So you should be having more fruit, more vegetables, more cereal products, in terms of, you know, things like corn, so cornflakes, Weetabix, bread, pasta, carbohydrates. The blue section is the dairy, so milk, cheese. That is the sort of this section of the food that you should try to be cutting down on, and, you know, making sure when you're having milk that you're having semi-skimmed milk rather than sort of full fat milk, and see if you can have the reduced fat alternatives. The other section that again you should be eating a little bit less from is that sort of pulses, fish, eggs, meat, other sort of products that may be a little bit more refined. But if you use that as a guide, that will help you to eat a healthier diet. The other thing you can do to sort of make sure you're not going to get type 2 diabetes is to lose weight. People that become very large, and we're talking about, you know, that term called obesity, where you are very overweight, that can put you at a higher risk of having diabetes. So losing weight, taking part in some kind of activities, and staying at a sort of a healthy weight will help you as you move into later life to avoid that type 2 diabetes. So, thinking about what can we do, let's have a think about setting some challenges. So one day next week, could you try and eat your 5 portions of fruit or veg, and try and sort of replace your snacks with sort of more healthy ones? Can we try and take some exercise every day? Recommendations are that we should be out and about and doing something that is raising our sort of pulse, our heart level. Lots of things online. The Joe Wicks is really good. The other day was International Dance Day, and there were things posted about what to do. Go for a walk. PE team sites have got lots of good sort of challenges as well that you can do. And if you think about your family, what about asking a member if they know anybody who's diabetes and how it affects them? And again, if you use those hashtags when you post any responses on Twitter, or you do any sort of make a healthy menu, or that you exercise, that would be fabulous to see. We're moving into May now, so we are now on Meaningful May, and the focus for that one on Monday, it says focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do. So rather than thinking about all the things that you haven't been able to do, let's celebrate what you can do, and perhaps celebrate, pat on the back, tick off some things that you're good at, and look on the positive side. As always, you've got all those people there that you can contact to keep you safe, and you all know about those, and you're aware that we switch off teams at. And those are some further numbers if you need more help and support. Thank you for listening, Aldersley, and as always, stay safe, work hard, and think about how you can maintain your health during these conditions where we're staying at home.